didn't Google this, motherfuckers?
It started with a single comic, a single line, and suddenly the protective bubble that had surrounded them for years just burst. For the longest time, comedians handled them with velvet gloves, a light tease here, a careful jab there, nothing too sharp, nothing that cut too close to the bone. And then Chris Rock stepped onto that Netflix stage and said exactly what half the world had been whispering behind closed doors.
Going on, Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family. You didn't Google these motherfuckers?
He zeroed in on the claim that she didn't Google the most famous family on Earth, a dynasty with 1,000 years of documented, televised, endlessly analyzed history written about in every language imaginable, and expected people to believe she never once typed their name into a search bar. Chris wasn't buying it. Honestly, no one with a functioning brain was buying it either.
The fuck is she talking about? She didn't know. The fuck? It's the royal family. They're the original racists. They invented colonialism.
And then came the analogy. So sharp, so effortless, so devastatingly precise that it shot across the internet like a spark in dry grass.
It's like marrying into the Budweiser family and going, they drink a lot. This motherfucker is invested in slavery like it was Shark Tank.
That Budweiser comparison became instant legend. Simple, ruthless, airtight. But the real detonation came next. Remember the palace scandal, the alleged question about what color the baby would be. For weeks, it dominated headlines, framed as undeniable proof that the entire institution was morally rotten. In less than 10 seconds, Chris sliced through it, dismantling the weight of that narrative with a joke that hit like a hammer.
To know how brown the baby's gonna be, I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people want to know how brown the baby gonna be.
He reframed it as something ordinary. Curiosity twisted into catastrophe, nuance flattened into a headline. And once he said it out loud, once he proved the sky wouldn't fall if you questioned the story, others followed, and the dam had cracked. Colin Jost didn't bother with warm-ups or polite build-up.
Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK that will reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
Pause on that for a moment. Britain doesn't want them back. America doesn't seem eager to claim them. Two nations, billions of people, and somehow neither side wants custody. They've become international hot potatoes tossed from hand to hand with nowhere solid to land. And then Josh Johnson stepped up and drove the blade in deeper.
Elon built electric cars, he's going to Mars. Why is he even involving himself with Twitter? It would be like if the Prince of England gave it all up just to marry an actor from Suits.
An actress from Suits, not a film icon, not an Oscar winner, not even the lead of her own series, but a supporting character on a cable legal drama most Americans barely registered until royalty entered the picture. That's the leap, that's the trade. And even Saturday Night Live imagined the absurdity of the spin-off.
NBC has announced plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant.
Unemployed immigrant. They joked about Prince Harry, grandson of the Queen, son of the King, reduced to a punchline on network television, primetime, and the audience barely blinked. That's when you know the tide has completely shifted. And if you caught Meghan's lifestyle show, you witnessed something almost surreal. Pretzels poured from one store bag into another prettier bag, labeled with a fancy marker like it was revolutionary domestic wisdom. That's the tip. That's the brand. Even Jimmy Fallon stared at it in disbelief.
What is the number one question that mystifies scientists?
Is there life on another planet?
Oh no. Why does Meghan Markle make her own pretzel bags? They don't know why.
That's interesting. She takes it from one bag and puts it in another bag.
There's another bag.
And that confuses people.
Taking supermarket snacks, repackaging them, presenting it as though civilization had just advanced. From someone who once lived in literal palaces, waited on by staff, surrounded by generational wealth. And the grand takeaway is upgrade your pretzel storage. You couldn't script it better. Fallon couldn't help but notice something else too. The shift in power, the quiet reversal happening in plain sight.
Yeah, see this, Meghan Markle announced that her As Ever product line sold out in under an hour. It's strange when you marry a prince and you're the breadwinner of the family. Meghan was excited while Prince Harry was like, what the hell am I going to do with 3,000 cases of wildflower honey?
The Prince of England, sixth in line, grandson of the longest reigning monarch in British history. And now he's the warehouse face of boutique jam and artisanal honey. What a trajectory. His memoir shattered records, fastest selling nonfiction book ever. 600 pages of family grievances, private trauma, frostbite confessions, and details no one on earth requested. Jimmy Kimmel definitely had thoughts.
Prince Harry, whose memoir just broke the Guinness record for fastest selling nonfiction book of all time. The story of Prince Harold and his frozen yogurt slinger is so popular, they're now releasing a version for kids. I don't know if you know about this. It's a twist on The Princess and the Pea. It's called The Prince.
When your legacy becomes The Prince and the Penis, that's what 600 pages of unfiltered confession can earn you. A late night monologue about your anatomy blasted to millions. And Stephen Colbert went straight for the curated branding.
Meghan Markle has finally revealed why she and Prince Harry call each other M and H.
And he'll say M and you'll say H and your friends say M and it just is a thing.
It's a thing.
And do you both love it?
Yes, and I like nicknames a lot.
What could it be? A mystery for the ages.
M and H, like a luxury conglomerate, like a Fortune 500 label, not two individuals who can't stop giving interviews about how exhausted they are from giving interviews. Then the Golden Globes arrived, a ballroom glittering with Hollywood's elite, and host Joe Coy dropped the line that seemed to freeze the room and define their arc in a single breath.
Turns out Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing. And that's just by Netflix.
Millions for nothing. And it landed hardest among people who grind for every contract. Actors auditioning endlessly, writers pitching for years, directors clawing toward one shot at greatness, while two people cash astronomical checks for projects most viewers can't even name. Americans were blunt, yes, but the British felt betrayed. To them, Harry wasn't just a celebrity, he was their prince, the boy who walked behind his mother's coffin at 12 as the world wept. They forgave the Nazi costume, the Vegas photos, the missteps, and then he went on American television and condemned his grandmother, his father, his brother, and an institution that had stood for a millennium. So when British comics got their turn, it wasn't comedy, it was catharsis. Jimmy Carr began with the contradiction no one polite was supposed to say aloud.
I said Meghan Markle is, of course, a lifelong feminist, which she's demonstrated by marrying a prince and giving up her job.
A lifelong feminist who surrendered her career the instant royalty showed interest.
Harry and Meghan say they'd now like to split their time between spending your money in the UK and spending your money in Canada.
Taxpayer money underwriting their complaints about how unbearable their taxpayer-funded existence had been.
The royal family, right, if you can imagine, they're like our Kardashian. Prince Harry is very much our Kanye. He occasionally dresses as a Nazi, and he f***ed up.
And the Nazi costume, it never disappears. The photo is eternal, archived in pixels forever. No interview with Oprah Winfrey, no glossy Netflix docuseries, no humanitarian award can erase it. Comedian Simon Brodkin did the unthinkable. He actually watched the entire Netflix documentary. All 6 episodes, every dramatic pause, every lingering handhold, every carefully framed tear. And here's what happened.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story, I hate them.
The series meant to win hearts, to clarify, to humanize, somehow achieved the opposite.
They started off and they're making interesting points about racism and misogyny. Then they start calling each other H and M, and I just thought, oh, do off.
The pet names, the camera-ready romance, the deliberate pauses before answers that felt memorized. It didn't feel intimate, it felt engineered, like a brand rollout disguised as destiny. And then Brodkin found a passage in Harry's book that left jaws hanging.
Harry starts describing this one date with Meghan as the night, let me quote you here, me and M pulled the pin on a fun grenade. I actually started rooting for Prince Andrew.
When your writing style manages to make Prince Andrew seem sympathetic by comparison, you've crossed into rare territory.
Yeah, they were very worried about their safety, which I get that aspect of things. After 6 episodes, I wanted to attack them.
6 episodes? That's all it took to convert neutrality into frustration. Brodkin couldn't get past how ordinary royal etiquette was reframed as trauma. You're dating the Queen's grandson? Perhaps Google a curtsy before accepting the ring. This isn't advanced calculus. And then there's Kelly Osbourne, Osbourne raised in actual chaos, addiction, overdoses, public meltdowns, her family airing dysfunction on reality TV for the world to see. When someone from that orbit calls you dramatic, it carries weight. No filter, no diplomacy, just blunt force truth. Every opportunity imaginable and somehow squandered. A Nazi costume in the past, a moral authority posture in the present. The contradiction practically writes its own satire. Sharon Osbourne went deeper still. Drama isn't collateral damage for them, it's the product. Without family conflict, there's no content. She shared her own story of betrayal, millions lost, real wounds, and still showed up when it mattered. Meanwhile, bridges burned over headlines, then came the warning from someone who has watched celebrity marriages implode for decades. That prediction lingered. Bill Maher didn't crack jokes, he diagnosed a paradox, promoting a book about wanting privacy while touring media to discuss how much you resent media. The contradiction is glaring. And contrast that with Queen Elizabeth II, who embodied restraint, dignity through silence, strength through refusal to engage. Sympathy isn't won through televised grievance, it's earned quietly. A 16-bathroom Montecito mansion, neighbors like Oprah and Ellen, private jets to climate conferences while lecturing others on carbon footprints. The frustration isn't about privacy, it's about demanding universal agreement. When people question the inconsistencies, they're labeled villains, but the audience is done accepting that script. When South Park dedicates an entire episode to you, the worldwide privacy tour, that's not just satire, it's cultural commentary. Megaphones shouting about wanting silence, private jets flying city to city to demand solitude, reality outpacing parody, privacy during magazine covers, privacy while filming documentaries, privacy on award stages. The contradiction is the punchline. Family Guy reduced it to one cutting exchange, trading made-up nonsense for real nonsense. And the British puppet satire spitting image went even further, exposing the dynamic, the control, the slipping mask, so uncomfortably close to truth it allegedly couldn't survive online. Attempts to pressure content off the internet only made it more sought after. And the scoreboard? The Spotify deal? Gone. The podcast canceled after delivering almost nothing. Spotify executive Bill Simmons publicly branded them grifters. Netflix demanding actual deliverables. Lifestyle ventures, jam, honey, dog biscuits, mocked relentlessly, even by names like Conan O'Brien and Ryan Reynolds. Every launch becomes a punchline. They left an institution seeking independence and became content for dozens more. The monarchy at least offered structure. Hollywood offers exposure without mercy. Different comics, different styles, from Chris Rock to animated satire, but the conclusion echoes: you cannot demand privacy while chasing cameras, preach hardship from a Montecito mansion, scold the public about climate change from private jets, claim victimhood while living a life billions would trade for. This isn't jealousy, it isn't cruelty, it's disbelief. The interviews, the documentaries, the memoir, the details keep shifting while the privilege remains constant. And when a story stops making sense, people stop believing. When Sharon Osbourne warns it may not end well, she's recognizing a pattern she's seen before. Isolation, yes men, detachment from reality. The laughter you hear, from stand-up stages to animated satire, isn't the cause, it's the symptom. The sound of public doubt crystallizing. And here's the harshest truth: no PR firm can rewrite contradiction, no rebrand can silence inconsistency. Until words and actions align, if they ever do, the jokes will keep coming, the monologues will keep airing, and the laughter will keep echoing. So which moment hit hardest for you? Was it Chris Rock dismantling the "I didn't know" claim, Kelly Osbourne's blunt assessment, South Park's megaphone parade, Bill Maher refusing to play along? Drop it in the comments. And if you've made it this far, you already know this story isn't finished.